Hey everyone, my name is George. If you don't know me already, I'm a full-time content creator as of 2019 in various capacities. I built up this YouTube channel to over 300,000 subscribers, did brand deals, sponsorships, the whole nine. At some point, I sort of burnt out of this channel. I switched to a podcast. I was doing a lot of freelance work, UGC content creation, content side hustles, all sorts of different things. But something that has carried me through the whole way is I've still been on this self-employed, creative, entrepreneurial journey since 2019. And actually, my YouTube journey started in 2007 when I created my account. So really, I use 2019 as like the marker that I went full time because that's when I graduated college and I was like, you know what? I'm taking this channel full time. I'm not applying for jobs. I'm going this creative self-employment route. But really, this journey started when I was 10 years old. 10 years old is when I started my YouTube channel. And I was, I was like a YouTuber pretty much immediately. I immediately became obsessed. I was filming myself skateboarding in my basement just for fun. It was this joyous, beautiful, creative thing. I took breaks here and there. I remember I really didn't post many YouTube videos in like my senior year of high school because I was really cool. I was too cool for that. I was applying to colleges, this and that. But then, my freshman year of college, I was like, I really laser focused in on posting consistently, growing the channel, creating, expressing, sharing, and that snowballed into this channel getting 100,000 subscribers by the time I graduated. Right, so that was 2019, and then, okay, I'm getting carried away with this story right now. There's a lot of things I want to share in this video. There's kind of this trend right now of big YouTubers quitting and also people talking about what's going on. And I feel that what's actually been happening in my heart is really lined up with this overall bigger trend of people quitting YouTube, burning out, and sort of these overall shifts happening on YouTube, the internet, and social media. So I just wanted to share my experience. The way I'm going to really organize this video is I want to share what I did wrong building my YouTube channel to 300,000 subscribers. Like, what mistakes did I make? What led to the burnout? What would I do differently if I could go back? But there's also a lot of things I did right. I mean, obviously, there's this massive accomplishment. It's this YouTube channel right here is this massive accomplishment, right? And even the fact that I'm here making this video talking about all of these lessons and things I've learned, that's a win in itself. It shows that I've grown as a person, as a creative, as an artist. Okay, so to finish up the story, right, like I burnt out real hard on this channel to the point where I gave it up. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving this channel behind. I'm pivoting somewhere else. It's interesting because I created a new channel, but actually my creator journey never ended. So I applaud myself for that. Let me get into the structure I wanted to do because this is going to get too crazy if I don't. Oh wait, no, one more thing first, okay? So I've had this deep fear of expressing myself freely on this YouTube channel because I mostly built this channel out of skateboarding. I'm going to get more into that. It's one of the things I think I did wrong, was choosing a niche and feeling constrained by it. But I recently have been challenging myself to post for 30 days in a row, raw and authentic, whatever I want to post on Instagram. This challenge has been so excruciating, so uncomfortable, so triggering, yet at the same time so beautiful, so expansive. I've experienced so much growth that I wanted to bring this challenge for myself to this YouTube channel. because, I've set myself free as a creative on Instagram now. I have the podcast channel. I'm doing all these things where I'm really expressing myself. But to this day, I have not set myself free on this YouTube channel. And I think that today is the day that I change that. Okay, and so for me, embarking on these little challenges, 30 days of authenticity on social media, they sort of snap me out of my fear and my hesitation, and they put me into action, right? So I thought, if this is working so well for me on Instagram, why not challenge myself to something similar on this YouTube channel, so I can just, whatever fears and discomforts and excuses I have, so I can just get rid of these shackles that nobody has put on me but myself, right? So a big one being that I've still been carrying this feeling that I have to include skateboarding in these videos, right? Nobody's telling me that. Nobody on this earth is telling me I can only post skateboarding on this channel besides me. Okay, so what I'm going to challenge myself to do on this channel is, from today, which should be Wednesday if I get this up on time, once a week I'm going to show up raw and authentic on this YouTube channel through the end of March. When I say raw and authentic, what do I mean? I don't necessarily mean no editing. I don't necessarily mean just me talking to the camera, although it may look like that. What I really mean is what wants to come out of my heart each week. That's what I will post on this channel, right? So I'm not going to constrain myself to any niche, any video format, any video style. I will be completely free to show up raw and authentic. Whatever I want to share, that's what I will share weekly through the end of March. So that's going to be 6-7 videos or so. So what I've felt during the social media challenge on Instagram is, I'm like 16, 17 days in. All of these rules that I imposed on myself, like my feed has to have a certain aesthetic, I can only post these trendy style of reels with music, I can't talk to the camera because I'm going to bore people, I'm going to lose followers, I can only post once a day at most or else I'm going to annoy people. All of these rules, as I pushed through them and showed up for the challenge day in and day out, they're starting to dissolve. It's like, oh, they're not real. And I am losing followers. And I guarantee you, this challenge will make me lose subscribers on this YouTube channel. And that's kind of the point. That's kind of the point, because one of my creative blockages has been the fear of annoying people who've subscribed to me and them deciding to unsubscribe. That fear of losing subscribers has imprisoned my creative expression, right? And the point of what I'm doing right now is to get rid of all of the shackles and enable my free expression, right? Because there's been a shift in priorities in my life, right? When I was really in the hustle phase of building the channel, my priority was growing views, growing subscribers, growing income. Obviously, at first, those were not my priorities. At first, when I was 10 years old, my priority was create, be joyous, have fun, express myself, share art. I wasn't thinking about it at the time, but my 10-year-old self was creating the art and the expression and the creations that I wanted to, because they were bursting out of my heart. Okay, but then when I took it really seriously at the beginning of college, there was that pure creation element, but also there started to creep in this desire to make it a living, to make an income, to make it my job, right? And so there's that creative, that pure creative motivation, and then there's that income motivation. So slowly over time, the income motivation eclipsed and then overshadowed the pure creative motivation. And I was in that state for so long, right? So, okay, screw the organization of this video. We're just talking. So one of the mistakes I made is I prioritized outcomes such as income, such as follower count, such as viewer engagement. I prioritized those things well over my pure creative joy. Right? So here's the problem that happens when you do that. Me, you, as human beings, we are changing things. Every day we are a new person. Sometimes these changes take a long time to really see, but like if I look at myself today and I compare myself to my college self, my interests are very, very different. When I was building this channel, I was super passionate about getting really good at skateboarding. I was skateboarding every single day. I loved it so much that that's what I was sharing, right? This creation was pouring out of my heart about skateboarding. So then I attracted an audience who was resonating with that passion for skateboarding. But as human beings, we are ever changing things, right? So over time, I became interested in different things. I became interested in meditation. I became interested in, philosophy, reading, productivity, all sorts of different things. And I was still interested in skateboarding, but it was no longer the expression that wanted to pour out of my heart, right? But because my priorities were like this, I prioritized the money, the validation, the view count, the subscriber count over that pure creative drive. When I would veer away from that skateboarding content, I would see a little dip in the views and the engagement. And it was triggering to me because I was relying on that validation. I was relying on those views. I was relying on that income. You know, my brand deal rates are tied to those views. My sense of self in regards to being this big YouTuber is relying on those views. So suddenly when I'm trying something new and it gets half or less of the views, it's like, oh, the reaction is, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should stick to what's the same, right? I'm sure you're hearing a lot of creators talk about something similar because it's a very real pressure. So I abandoned what purely wanted to come out of my heart, and I truly felt that I had to stick to this skateboarding thing. And I haven't let that go to this day until this video. I've sort of started trying to break free, but you'll still notice that all of my expression that's not about skateboarding, I've put elsewhere, and I've still managed to shove skateboarding into these videos. Now, don't get me wrong. I still love to skate. It's not like it used to be, but I still love it. And sometimes that's the expression that wants to come out. But for years, I forced that skateboarding expression to come out. And that dissonance between what was in my heart, what authentically wanted to be expressed, and what I was actually expressing. The whole point why I got into YouTube was I wanted to be happy and I wanted to be aligned and I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I didn't want to get the 9-to-5 job, so I went the YouTube route. But I put myself into basically the same trap. You know, I still had the freedom of schedule, but I was in a trap of doing a job that I didn't want to do. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, but it was so seductive I felt like I had to do that. And it's because of a whole host of things. The conditioning we have in our mind, it's so powerful, right? At that time, when I graduated college, I had this strong resolve to follow my own way and to do the YouTube channel instead of getting a job. But over time, I lost that resolve. My fear took over, and I decided I couldn't be myself. I couldn't be the full spectrum of who I am. I couldn't allow myself to change, right? And it's only occurring to me now. And for me personally, it took an 8-week meditation training to figure this out. So that should show you how deep this got for me, how deeply ingrained and how stuck I was. Okay? So that's what I did wrong. I did not allow myself to change. I did not allow myself to express what was in my heart. I prioritized external validation over what was true in my heart because of fear, because I was scared of losing money, losing followers, losing my ego as a successful YouTuber, etc. But what did I do right? Okay, I thought of one big one that I did right, and it's that I showed up consistently. Okay, so showing up consistently through discomfort, through fear, because there was fear. There was fear. What if I can't make this my full-time job? What if I'm crazy? I pushed through all of that for so long, and I showed up consistently, and I applaud myself for that. Another thing I applaud myself for is when I burnt out of this channel, at least I didn't completely stop expressing myself. At least I made the new podcast and the second channel and the secret TikTok page. At least I was still funneling my expression. Right? So my creator journey never ended. But it did sort of end on this channel. And my suspicion is that I could have just been myself on this channel all along. Do you know what I mean? Like all this hard work that I put into building this huge audience, my fear of being true on this channel was so loud that I just gave up on this channel. I think that was a mistake. You know, I'm not saying that I could have taken a break. I could have taken time to figure it out, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, I think with the wisdom I have now, I think I could have just been myself and seen where it took me. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I'm pushing into now, just to see what happens. That's the beauty of these challenges. It's like, yeah, I'm going to lose subscribers. The videos might not get as many views, but it gives me so much information. It's good. Like I'm about to feel something I've been so afraid to feel, which is, what is it like to do whatever I want on this channel? Do you know what I mean? Okay, my intention sitting down was I was going to organize this, what I did wrong, what I did right, and it just all came out, and that's, for the purpose of this challenge, it's absolutely perfect. So what I wrote in my notes, just to make sure I get them out clearly, what I got wrong was I stuck to what was safe and comfortable, which prevented me from embracing my internal change. It prevented me from growing as a person, as a creator, as an artist. Sticking to what was safe, it's counterintuitive, but sticking to what was getting a lot of views was preventing my growth as a soul and as a creator. Okay. And this sort of goes hand in hand, but the other thing I got wrong was I gave up. I was unwilling to embrace and share the changes I was going through, which caused me to quit on this channel. And I still expressed myself, which I applaud myself for, but I was sort of hiding it on separate channels. Like I was afraid to tell the audience I had built that I was changing, you know? What I got right is I showed up consistently, which is what I'm committed to doing now, right? So I don't necessarily know that that's going to be on this channel necessarily. But I'm very committed to showing up consistently for the journey of being a creator or an artist or following my dreams, whatever you want to say, or becoming my highest self, or expanding into the person I'm meant to become in this life. I'm very committed to that. I'm not going to, pigeonhole it into I'm very committed to this channel at this link. I think it's bigger than that. But I'm committed to showing up consistently for this journey. And I'll add the caveat again, I'm not saying I'm never going to take breaks. I actually think it's important to incorporate in breaks. And I will be doing that, but I will never be giving up. I'll never be giving up. And I know there will be times where I want to give up again. But I ain't doing it. I ain't giving up. It's not worth it. It's not worth becoming... It's not worth becoming... It's not worth surrendering to stagnancy. Our nature is change. And it's scary, but all we have to do is lean into that and allow it. And then there it is. Okay, so, and this topic has been the thing that's what I wants to pour out of my heart, because it's such a big realization, and it's also so interesting to see so many creators going through the same thing at the same time. It's like, wow, we're all kind of in this together, aren't we? All right, so that's it for the discussion. It came out how it came out. I'm going to allow that to be perfect. Dropping perfectionism by allowing that to be perfect. I am doing a meditation class every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with my Patreon community. It's on Zoom. If you're into meditation or you're curious or you just want to join my community, I think I'm going to be building that out slowly, seeing where it goes. The meditation teacher training I recently graduated from has given me this confidence in like showing up on Zoom with people, talking to people, showing up as a community leader, a teacher, right, holding space, and it's really expanded my capacity. So if you really want to come hang and meditate and get closer and involved, the Patreon link is down below. And I have so many ideas, and now that I'm connected to this thing again, I'm like, ooh, I'm bursting with ideas, and I just want to do all of them, because I think through this whole experience that I've just described, I've developed a resiliency, and I'm less afraid of failure. I'm less afraid of a post not getting views. I'm less afraid of trying an idea and it flops, because I know the important thing to never forget, and I'm not saying that making sure the income and you can look at the metrics and you can do the strategy, but to never let go of that true heart purpose. I'm really connected to the importance of that. So I feel very free to try things even if they fail, which just feels amazing, truly. And I'm very grateful to be here. Grateful for you watching. If you've listened all the way through, that's awesome. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you next week for the next part of this raw and authentic on YouTube, on my YouTube skate channel that I've been scared to post on forever challenge. All right. See you next week.